Hello and welcome to episode 6. In this episode we're going to be looking at building the jig up so we can put the frames in and put the planks and everything and basically build the boat up. So that's what we're going to be doing in this episode, so onwards to the garage. It's now time to start cutting the components out for the jig. I've managed to reclaim some decent pallet material, reusing pallet materials nice and straight. So I'm going to start chopping these up and then look at getting the jig together. I've set the table saw up, so I've got to put a mitre on one of the end components on the jig. This one is for the bow end, which is a degree, and then the transom at the back is a different degree again. So I'm going to cut this one and then I'm going to cut the transom on, which is a different degree. And that'll be those two cut. Obviously the ones in the middle, they don't need a mitre on. So let's get these cut. So as you've probably noticed, I've only cut so far in because it's a reasonably thick piece to cut through. So I'm just going to raise the blade each time and cut a bit away each time instead of trying to do it all in one go. Otherwise it's just going to get hot and make a mess. So I'll raise the blade up a bit more. So I've put the two runners for the jig together, I've clamped them together. I've dropped the first line down, put a cross on each behind. That's just to remind me which side of the line obviously the timbers are going to go. And I've put some more marks on one of them. So I'm going to go along now and put the square on and drop the lines down. So they're both exactly the same. onto that side. Okay, you can split these apart now, and then I'm going to put the transom timber at that end and the bow timber at this end, and then we can square it all up and then look at putting the other timbers in. Right, without knocking this frame and be nice and careful, I can lock this off now and put the other screws in. That's that one. Put another one this side. That's it. Then do the other end. Yeah, that's pretty good. That one there. That side, yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, that's this end. Get a couple of screws in the other end and then do a final square and then look at putting the centre timbers in. Now, one of the most important measurements on the jig is the centre line. So now we've got a mark on each timber at each end, but I want to transfer a line all the way down onto the timbers. To do that, there's a few ways you can do it. You could put a string line down, or if you've got a nice long straight edge, that'll do it. But I happen to have a laser, so I'm going to use the laser to mark it out, and the laser's on at the moment. I don't think you'll see it too clearly on the camera because I've got a bit of sunlight coming in through the window, and then obviously I've got lights in the garage. The thing is with a red laser, it's okay indoors. But if you wanted to use a laser outdoors, I recommend that you probably pay a bit more and buy the green one, which is better in sunlight. But no, it'd be fine for using the red one indoors. I'm going to turn the lights off and just see if we can see it a bit better on the camera. I don't think we'll see it too good. You may just slightly see it, but I'm going to go and put the marks on now. That's better. Right, I can drop the square down off those now, and then should be right. Okay, that'll be fine. I've now set the transom onto the frame. This is the first one I've put on. I've set it up, it's level on the spirit level, it's level vertically on the laser line, so it's all running central to the frame. And I've got the height, I've got the right height at the back now as well, for the water line. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to put some pencil marks on here. So if I take this back off the jig, I've got a dating point to go to on these two uprights which are on the jig. That'll just make it easier to set up again next time, because yeah, it is a bit fiddly, but yeah, that's good. Right, move on to the bow, I think now, and then start putting the inner frames on. So all the frames are in now and set. So is the bow at the front. And what I've done, I've put it's like a piece of aluminium extruded material inside. And I've just tweaked these frames up, so then the seat will all be exactly the same level. There's only a few millimeters in between, but it's nice to just set it. And then I slid it to the end of the bow here underneath, and the length of this is 1538, and then I've got a gap here at the end, so I've just got this tape. It's 250 millimeters, and overall is 1788. So now I can transfer that onto the seat and cut that. Also notice I've put some gussets in here on the other side and on the other frames as well, and that just helps so that you can line those uprights and get them right. So I just put a screw in, put some PVA glue at the back, and then leave it overnight, and then it sets them, and then I can put the frame in. Also, what I'm going to have to do now I've got that measurement is that I'm going to retake the bow off. I've got to cut the seat, slide it in from that way, and then I can fit all the bow back on and set it, and that'll be ready for gluing and screwing the seat into place. So yeah, pretty pleased with that. So I've measured the seat, and it's absolutely bang on to the frame from the transom to the bow. So what I would recommend, that if you built this boat, is whatever it says on the drawing, is probably add on another 25mm or whatever if you wanted to be in more of a safe zone. What I've done, I've literally cut back. I've set the mitre on the bevel, so it's gone literally back to nothing there, and I've done both sides, and then I've just gone over with the orbital just to sand it up, put a slight bevel on this 6mm ply. The bow doesn't need doing because the pieces on the side will stick over, which you'll see later. So I've only had to do the transom end. So they're cut. I used a Japanese draw saw, which was adequate to do it. So yeah, so we can look at fitting the seat now. Right, as you can see, I've put in the seat. I've dry fitted the seat in. Everything all fits nicely. If you see here, I just wanted to bring this frame over just perfectly vertical, and that wanted to come in just to pinch up to the seat there. And what I've done, I've just put like a small ratchet strap on here, and a bungee strap on the other side. So you just do what works really, just to make everything come together and fit. I have noticed earlier on I made a very minor mistake when I put the holes into this seat, assuming that these would land perfectly. Now I've been lucky, and these two frames do land perfectly. But this one at the back is probably about 3 to 4 millimetre off, but that's still fine. I can still pilot the holes through and put the screws in. But I do recommend that you don't drill the holes into the seat until you're in this position now. So I was a bit of ahead of myself then. I shouldn't have done that. You should wait until the seat's been put in. So all I need to do now is pilot underneath there with a drill, and then these have already got the holes in on the seat, so I can just follow those holes to go into the wood, and it'll be the same at the front. I've just got to pilot that underneath, and then I can just drop this seat down, mix up some glue, and then refit, and that'll be the seat fitted. Right, I've just mixed a little bit of filler. I'm just going to put a weight on that. There's no tidy way of doing this. I think it's just a case of you put it on, then I can scoop everything up with one of those lollipop sticks. It's You can easily sand this anyway with an orbital. Right. I'll gently lift this up now and screw it up underneath. It's like doing yoga. Boat yoga. Well, thank you for watching episode 6. The seat is all set and dried now. In episode 7 we're going to be looking at shaping the bow and the transom and the frames, so when the planks go around they're a nice fit, so they'll want planing up, so we're going to do that. We're also going to be looking at fitting the top planks, and then we're going to be looking at painting the underside of the seat. There's also a dimension discrepancy issue which we are going to sort out and resolve, so yeah, that'll be something to look forward to. If there's any eagle-eyed Kiwis out there, you may have noticed this rugby shirt that I've got on. It's a Chiefs one, a Mooloo's one. So yes, I did live in New Zealand for a couple of years, and I used to live in Hamilton City, but that was some years ago. Anyway, it's time to get off now, and I'll see you in episode 7. So bye for now.